Hi folks. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how being in a sacred ceremonial space helps your heart healing. So first of all, like what is a ceremony? What is a sacred space? So it's basically where a safe space is held for you. And I see a ceremony as a place where you can connect with yourself, you can connect with spirit, you can connect with the divine, the universe, whatever you call that higher energy. And it allows you to come back to your heart, come back to your true essence, beyond the mind, beyond who you think you are, and just connect in with your true being, right? So a ceremony can look like obviously normally a group of people. Like it could have many elements in it. It could have music, could be dancing, there could be singing, chanting, meditation, cacao, many things that basically bring you back into connection with your center and ground you in. And often, it's quite a shamanic thing sitting in ceremony. When I say shamanic, it's very earthly. It really connects you in with your roots, and that's what I love about ceremony. So when I was doing my cacao facilitator training, we would meet every month in real life, which is beautiful, and we'd sit in this beautiful big room, and we would say a prayer, we would drink our cacao together, and then we would be guided through a dance practice, or intuitive dance practice by our teacher. And then, like, once obviously the cacao had done its thing, we'd be moving, we'd be expressing ourselves, and then we would come together and we'd learn some sort of the Peruvian teachings, which were beautiful. So that was my experience. And at the end, what I absolutely loved, and I've shared this before, is we would come into a circle, and it would be the sharing circle at the end. And this often can happen in ceremony as well. And we would all just share like what's landing, what's being evoked in us, whatever we wanted to share. And we talk around this, the talking stick, and we would share whatever we wanted to. And we would be witnessed, which was so beautiful, because it wasn't about somebody trying to fix or solve your problem or like coach you through the thing. It was like, okay, this is where I'm at. I'm vulnerable. Maybe you didn't want to share anything, but you're witness in your truth, in your heart, and like in that grounded place. And it was beautiful. And why I say, ceremony is it helps to heal the heart, because I often think in this modern world, and I can be guilty of it, we want to help others, right? As like heart-centered beings, as empaths, as highly sensitive people, we want to help others. So we can tend to go into coaching or fixing, or just give you a solution for that. But how often do we actually just make space to listen to that person in front of us, right? There's power in listening. And I always really believe like a problem shared is a problem halved, because it feels like it's the collective. You're being supported by this energy. And like that experience, it felt really supportive and really nourishing, because although no one was giving us advice, there was a power and there was a healing that happened in being witnessed as you are, without trying to be a polished version of yourself. This is where I'm at. And it was so beautiful. So I found profound healing in that journey, and I have in other experiences I've had. But yeah, a safe space, a gentle space to land is a ceremony. And I could tell you many stories, and you probably experienced some sort of ceremony, but there is power in being witnessed. Because often in our lives, particularly growing up, and it's just how it is. Like, how often did our parents or our caregivers actually have time to fully, sit with us and witness us and listen to maybe for an hour or whatever it was, just give us space. So that space to be seen and heard is a real gift. And that's what, a ceremony is. That's what I feel it is really about. And healing happens when we feel seen and heard, when you feel deeply listened to. You probably all got a friend that just really holds space and really listens. It's not trying to fix or solve you, they just listen. They're empathetic, they listen with compassion. How healing is that? So I believe healing is not always about, taking action. Of course, there can be healing tools we use. There's many healing tools that I use, and Cacao particularly is one of those now. But that sacred space where you feel seen by other beings, and often I always come out of those ceremonies feeling deeply connected to these people. And I might not have even, had a conversation with them, but the fact that all their eyes and all their energy are on you and your truth, that is profound. And I've seen it in a few cacao ceremonies I've held, always with a small group of people, but it's so beautiful because also we know we're not alone in those struggles. There is power in that. We're never alone. But often, our ego thinks we're isolated. We're like, we've got to fix this problem on our own. We're never alone. We just forget. The ego likes to think we are. And in that space, the amount of times I've heard something somebody shared and thought, yeah, I really resonate with that. I completely know what they're going through. So there's healing and there's wholeness that happens. And when I say about heart healing, it is healing our hearts, because our deepest truth, it takes courage, right? And vulnerability to speak from that place, to speak from that truth, to be witnessed in that. And courage and vulnerability coexist together. So, and that is from our heart. So I hope that makes sense. And I'd love to hear from you. Drop it in the comments, your experience of maybe a sacred ceremony that you sat in, and how has it supported your healing. Also sometimes in the ceremony, people will release emotions because they feel so seen and heard. They feel it's safe to do that, which is beautiful. And of course there's boundaries around these things, but a wave of emotion might pass, and that's healing too. So I'd love to hear your experiences. Do share them below in the comments. And yeah, stick along this journey for more information about my ceremonies and my one-to-one cacao ceremonies that I'm now offering. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, drop me a message. I would love to connect with you, with you guys. All right, bye for now.